This might look like a cute sticker game for kids, but it's secretly one of the most creative roguelike deck builders I've played. I received a free review code for this game, but as always, all of my thoughts are my own. The first thing that caught my attention was the art style. The bright colors, hand-drawn characters, and whole childhood playground theme immediately made me want to check it out. Then, I found out you actually create your own cards by sticking different stickers onto them, and that completely sold me. At first glance, My Card is Better Than Your Card looks like a cozy little game about kids collecting stickers. Don't let that fool you though, because underneath those adorable visuals is a surprisingly deep roguelike deck builder. Instead of collecting pre-made cards, you're building your own. Every sticker has its own effect, almost like it's an entire card from another deck builder, and you can combine multiple stickers onto a single card to create some ridiculous combinations. It gives you so much freedom to experiment, and that's easily the game's biggest strength. Every run, I found myself trying new ideas just to see what kind of crazy cards I could make. I ended up putting about 6 hours into the game across 3 runs, and every run felt different enough to keep me interested. My favorite starter deck was the plant deck, since I'm always a fan of token-based strategies. But there are plenty of different starter decks, hundreds of stickers to unlock, toys that modify your build, and multiple game modes that change how each run plays. For an early access game, it already feels like there's a lot to dig into. The presentation deserves a lot of credit too. The visuals are honestly eye candy. The colors pop, the characters have tons of personality, and the little animations make everything feel alive without becoming visually overwhelming. Pair that with the charming soundtrack, and it really captures that nostalgic feeling of being a kid playing cards. One thing I appreciated as a beginner was an accessibility option that lets your opponent's cards stay on screen until you click to continue. Since I didn't know what every sticker and card effect did yet, the normal speed felt a little too fast. Having the ability to slow things down made learning the game much more enjoyable, and I imagine I'll probably turn it off once I'm more familiar with everything. Now, even though this game looks incredibly cozy, it isn't always relaxing. I played on relaxed mode, and while most normal encounters weren't too difficult, the bosses were a noticeable step up. I actually made it all the way to the final boss on one run, but got completely destroyed. If you're someone who enjoys mastering card games and solving difficult encounters, you'll probably enjoy that challenge. Personally, I play deck builders more for experimenting with fun builds than optimizing every single decision, so I would have liked relaxed mode to be just a little more forgiving. I do have a few other complaints too. The biggest one is the run length. My very first run lasted around 40 minutes, and I thought that felt perfect. As more weeks were added to future runs, they started stretching closer to 2 hours, which is a bit longer than I'd like for a roguelike. I also tried the faster game mode hoping it'd cut runs down significantly, but they still took quite a while. Another issue is that the game forces you to keep adding cards to your deck every day. In most deck builders, skipping rewards is an important part of keeping your deck consistent, so constantly adding cards eventually leads to deck bloat. Balance could also use a little more tuning. Some toys feel incredibly powerful, while others barely feel worth taking. One toy that gives you stars based on the amount of candy you earn can completely take over a run, while others only give you a tiny bonus that hardly makes a difference. There were also times where I felt like the game hard countered my build. If you've built your entire strategy around generating bug or snake tokens, and then run into an opponent who steals those tokens or converts them into resources for themselves, your own deck can end up working against you. Since generated stars also persist between rounds, it's very easy to fall behind and struggle to recover after a bad matchup. There's definitely some RNG involved here, but that's also part of what comes with the roguelike genre. Overall, I had a great time with My Card is Better Than Your Card. The sticker crafting system is one of the most creative ideas I've seen in a deck builder in a long time. The presentation is absolutely charming, and every run gives you plenty of opportunities to experiment with new builds. I think the runs could be shorter, and a few balance tweaks would go a long way, but even in early access, there's already a surprising amount of content here. If you enjoy roguelike deck builders, and the idea of building your own ridiculous cards sounds fun, this is definitely one worth checking out. If you want to check out the game for yourself, I'll have a link in the description to the Steam page. It's currently on sale for $12. Now if you don't mind, I'm gonna get back to making children cry. If you like the video, press the like. If you want to see more of me, subscribe. I cover cozy games, RPGs, and visual novels. Bye guys!